Hi, welcome to another video on keyboard playing and particularly the Casio CTX3000. In the first few videos that I've done, I've been showing you the main functions of the keyboard, how to get around the keyboard. But now we need to start to implement some of that information into actually playing pieces of music. So maybe if you're new to playing the keyboard, you're using a book like this one, The Complete Keyboard Player by Kenneth Baker. It's a very good book. It's been out for a number of years and has been updated over the years. You've got a good selection of music and information about getting started with the keyboard. So let's have a look at a piece of music within here and just show you the kind of typical layout of an electronic keyboard piece of music. So you've got the notes here for your right hand to play, and then above are the chord symbols that you would play with your left hand. At the very top of the music there's also suggestions for the voice, which on a Casio keyboard we call a tone, and then also the style, which again on Casio is called a rhythm. Underneath that here we've got the tempo, and then underneath there it also suggests to use a synchro start function at the beginning of the music, so you don't get any chords playing for the first couple of bars. So that's one example there of a keyboard piece of music. Here's another example. Perhaps you're learning some music for an exam. This is the Trinity College electronic keyboard initial grade. Again, you've got a good selection of music and also some technical work at the back. But let's just have a look at some examples. So here's a piece of music. And again, we've got the voice and style suggestions at the top of the keyboard, at the top of the music for the keyboard. The melody line for the right hand. The chords are printed above. And the tempo is printed just above the music as well. But they also put in the voice name here. So perhaps in the score you might have a change of voice halfway through or something like that. So that just reminds you what to change for the voice. And the style usually stays the same throughout the piece of music. So that's another example. Or alternatively, you might be using a book like this one, which is a busker book. Here they've got a pianist on the front, but it can be applied to keyboards as well. And again, if we open it up, you can see a melody line printed with some chords above. But there's no information here telling you which voice to use or which style to use. It might be obvious from the title of the piece. So for instance, this one here, the Waltz by Brahms, is a waltz. So you would use a waltz rhythm or a waltz style for this particular piece of music. And you can choose which instrument, which voice or which tone you want to be playing the melody line. So 3 examples there of some keyboard music. So in the second part of this video, I'm going to be showing you actually how to go from the beginning of a piece of music to the end. So we're going to use a piece of music that I've written. It's called Pancho Rides West, and it's available for download if you'd like to purchase it and you like the music. So again, just looking at the sheet music here, I've printed voices and style suggestions at the top. The chord symbols are printed above the melody line, and again I've put in any changes to the voices in boxes above the chord symbols. Below the music as well, you can see some other information about using sync start and variation, and then there are also some stop instructions and sync start instructions during the course of the piece of music. So I'll now set up all that I need to do for this particular piece of music and then play it through from beginning to end. So at the moment we've just got the keyboard set to stage piano and there aren't any settings So I need to make those settings so that I'm ready to play the piece of music. Looking at the sheet music, it says voices, steel guitar. So I need to select a voice of a steel guitar or a tone by pressing the tone button. And then I'm going to press 114, which will bring up the steel guitar. And also I need to switch the octave, take it down one octave, hold down the octave button, and then the down arrow will bring it down one octave. The other suggestion is to use a synth voice layer on top of that guitar sound. So the way to do that is to press the upper layer button here. And I'm going to select 480, which is a synth voice pad. And now you can hear the guitar layered with the synth voice pad over the top. The style or rhythm is a rumba, so I'll press the rhythm button here and then type in 100, which is a rumba. And I need to set this to 108 beats per minute. So press the tempo button. I can type in 108. We're now at 108 beats per minute. We also need to turn on the accompaniment button here. Press that, and it will display here on the display. And then on the sheet music it says use sync start variation number 2. So press sync start. Starts to flash here, and I'm going to press number 2. So it's flashing sync start V2, and the accompaniment is on. So now we're ready. We've got everything set up for the piece of music. So I'm going to store that in a bank because that was a lot of button pushing, and when I want to come and play this piece again later on, I don't want to do all that button pushing again. First of all, I'm going to choose a bank. Let's choose a different bank. Let's go for number 5. Press the store button, hold it down, press a registration number. So that's now stored in bank number 5, registration number 1. At the beginning of the piece of music, I don't want to have the voice pad playing. So I need to get rid of the upper layer 2. So now we've just got upper layer 1. But I need to add that at the end of the second line. It says add synth voice pad. So I'm going to press that during the course of playing the piece to give me the voice pad and the guitar layered together. And then at the end of the piece of music, on the last line, there's a complete stop. So I'm going to press stop and also press synchro start and also get rid of the voice pad. So I'm just left with the steel guitar to the end of the piece of music. And then at the very last bar, there's a stop as well to finish the piece. With my left hand, I tend to use fingered chords so that I'm playing the notes of the chord. And if you're a beginner on the keyboard, I suggest you try to learn fingered chords rather than single finger chords, because it will give you much more flexibility later on as you advance. And the other thing to remember as well is to play musically, to play to the tempo. Make sure that the chords change at the appropriate point, usually at the beginning of a bar or in the middle of a bar, so that the music flows. So now we're all set, we're ready. We've got bank number 5, registration number 1, get rid of the synth voice pad at the beginning, ready to play a complete performance of Pancho Rides West. I hope you found that useful, and thanks for watching. More videos will follow.